As an artist, I want to know, how in the world do I file my taxes? Whew.
Hey guys,
Hey.
it's tax season.
And we're artists and confused about life.
So I got some answers.
Because it's tax season. Small backstory. I used to do insurance, so I got paid without my taxes being taken out. So I have this tax lady who has been amazing. Natalie, thank you for all you do. Thank you for handling me because, without you, I'd be lost and I'd be in a lot of trouble. So thank you. But I'm no longer doing taxes. Last year was my first year, or this tax season was my first year of getting like a nice tax return back because I had to pay taxes through working last year because I wasn't self employed. And then I was thinking, well, looks like I'm going back to being self employed. So I need to know like what to keep track of and what do I need to do. The first time around, I still worked for a company. So I filled out a 1099 and the company did a lot of, or the company's name was on a lot of things. It wasn't my business. Well, being a self-employed artist, this is my business. So I want to know, what do I need to do? What forms do I need to have? Do I need to do anything different from the first time around? And then I was thinking, well, what about all those other artists who are in the same boat as me but didn't have a previous self-employed history? So I wanted to make a video about what I learned and give you some insights of what those things are and write some notes. I'll put some little tidbits on the screen for you to keep up with, but it doesn't seem, I mean, it's not hard. It's a lot, but it's not hard. But some questions were answered, and I appreciate it. So I have it written down. So if you'll excuse me and bear with me while I go through this step by step with you. Um, the forms I need, so I wasn't sure if I needed to like fill out a form. One of my logics was, if I want to do a mural for a business owner, they're not going to pay me cash. Well, ideally, they're not going to pay me cash because they want to get the tax write off too, and they need to have proof that they paid somebody to do this. So that means I need to fill out what Natalie told me was a W-9, and that's where it'll say how much I was paid and how much the business paid out. So this way, when it comes to filing my taxes, that's a documentation that the IRS needs saying that, okay, I was paid by a business owner. And it also helps the business owner get that tax write off too. Because without that, then business owners aren't going to want to pay you because then they don't get a tax write off. And we all know we're trying to save as much as we can. Everybody is. So you need a W 9. On that W 9, there's going to be a slot that says who is doing this business. So of course you're going to have the business that you're painting for or whatever. But you're also going to either have your name, or you can go to your local courthouse and get the forms filled out and have a what's called DBA. This stands for doing business as. This is where you can create your name for yourself if you want to. My tax lady said you don't need to do this. This is just like a fancy step. It costs like $15 to do it. But if you want to have that name for yourself, then you can go do that. So on the W-9, you can either put your name or you can put your business name. And for myself, it's Jaylee Art Creations. So that's what you would fill on the W-9. This means you do not need an LLC. This also means you don't need to register for a specific tax ID. You also don't need to do the XYZ and LMNOP. You legit just need your name and a W-9 form to do to be paid by like businesses. So that was big news to me. To dumb that down, you don't need to do any classes or licensing to be paid by businesses or to have your own business or to be self-employed for your art, which is really nice. As far as this simple route of just like doing gigs for different people and creating a name for yourself. Keep track of your income. So for me, I know there's simpler ways, but I know how my brain works. All I'm doing so far for this year, and next year it'll probably change, but the year started and I'm not starting over because that's how my brain works. I have my planner, and on just the calendar part, ooh, something moved that scared me. On just the calendar part, not on like the week part, just the calendar part, I have minus $100.50 for mural supplies. And then I have that on what date, right? And then I have plus $30 from a sale, and I have that on a certain date. So I keep track of when I'm spending money and when I'm earning money. And at the end of the month, I go through my list of, okay, here's what I spent and here's what I earned, and I create my total amount. I know there's much more simpler, digitized ways to do this. I'm not there yet. Mentally, I'm not there yet. This is how my brain works, and that's okay. But what you need to do, no matter how you do it, is you need to keep track with what you're earning and with what you're spending. And if you're spending anything, you need to keep those receipts, which I know is frustrating and messy, but I legit just have like a baggie, a Ziploc that just has all my receipts in there. And they can range anywhere from like, if you go to the library and print on a piece of paper for 10 cents, to if you travel to Tennessee and do a mural out there, you can pay for your gas for your flight ticket, you can pay for the food that it takes you to get there, all of that. I do have, how about this for 10 times better? I have my old tax papers. Yes, I keep track because I'm scared of the IRS and I never know when they're gonna knock on my door and be like, prove that you did XYZ. So I keep track of it all. And by keep track is it just sticks in one stack. But what I'll do is I will go through and read. Again, these are from my tax lady, and this is what I would keep track of whenever I was self-employed. And this should answer all your questions of like, okay, but what if I could do that? Or do I keep track of this? Or do I keep track of that? I'm just going to read off this form that my tax lady had me fill out every single year saying, here are the things to keep track of. And so write down on a piece of paper, pause the video. I'll try to go like kind of slow, but not exhaustingly slow, but I'm not going to speed through it either. So this part is called operating expenses. This is things like advertising, subscription, publications, commissions paid to others, professional dues, fees from the bank, credit card, Etsy, Shopify, PayPal, etc. Fees, service charges, contract labor cost, employee benefits, interest paid for business mortgages, interest paid for business loans /CC, GPS services, legal and professional services, office expenses, freight and postage, pensions, profits sharing, rental vehicle, rent machinery equipment, rent other. Side note, so I'm renting my apartment or my loft or my house or whatever this is declared as. And I use a good portion of my living space to do my work. I use it for recording, I use it for my supplies holding, I use it to create. So I can keep that square footage and I can have that percentage of the square footage that I use, take that percentage out of the rent that I pay, and that can be considered as a tax write-off because I'm using it for my business purposes. Repairs to office equipment or machinery, professional licenses, gifts, cell phone, subscriptions, software, storage fees, supplies, taxes, tools, direct utilities, office/store, wages, and then other. I feel like that's a lot. So if you can think of other, congratulations, but my brain does not exercise that way. And then it goes under equipment. How much did you spend on equipment and furniture? This next category is vehicle and travel. So, description of vehicle, date placed in service, odometer reading beginning of year, odometer reading end of year, total miles, business miles, commute miles. Was the bus vehicle available for personal use during off-duty hours? And then you check yes or no. I don't know. You'll see. Yes. Okay. Anyways. Did you have other vehicle available for personal use? Do you have evidence to support this deduction? Is the car leased? Was the vehicle Was the vehicle depreciated in a year prior? Is the car owned or financed? Vehicle expenses for fuel/gas, repairs, tires. Keeps going. 2 pages. Towing, auto insurance, auto license, personal property taxes, lease payments, interest on auto club, like AAA or AAA. Warranty purchase, other. Under travel expenses, it has number of days out of town, airfare, train, car rental and gas, parking tolls, taxi, bus, shuttles, Uber, Lyft, lodging, travel meals, dry cleaning, number of days out of town. Cost of goods, beginning of inventory, purchases less personal. I don't know what that means. Cost of labor, materials and supplies, COG, other costs. I don't know what that means. Ending inventory. Home office exclusive for businesses. Square foot of home used for business. Total square feet of home. Direct expenses, repairs and maintenance. Indirect expenses, rent. Indirect expenses, renters/homeowners insurance. Indirect expenses, repairs and maintenance. Indirect expenses, utilities. Indirect expenses, other. Income. Gross sales/income. Refunds issued or given. Other expenses not listed above. Again, if you can think of other things apart from this 2-page list, good for you. I probably won't because my brain doesn't calculate that, and that's okay. This is plenty for me. So I thought that would be helpful for the independent artist who are wondering, what do I keep track of? How do I know what's worth keeping track of? How do I know that this is qualified to have a tax write-off? What if it's not qualified? Well, I hope this helps a little bit. Okay, back to my list. Okay, so yeah, keep track of your income and keep track of your expenses. I do want to give a shout out to Square Pay. I'm not sponsored. Maybe one day I will be sponsored, but I learned that you can have it on your phone. If you don't know this, here you go. If you know this, you're gonna be like, duh. So if you have Square Pay, I don't pay for it. There's no subscription that I'm paying for. But you do have to give like a fee, which, as we just learned, is a tax write-off. You can have all of your items and prices in your register in Square, and you can be in the middle of the street, you can be in the middle of town, and somebody wants to pay you for an art piece. You can take that payment there, even without the swipey thing, because I'm cheap and I'm not there yet. I don't want to pay for the swipey thing, and I don't want to carry it around either. I just learned that you can tap with your phone and the payment of somebody, and if they don't have tap on their card, you can manually enter their card number. So I thought that was awesome and easy access, because what I was doing before is I would just tell people I either need cash or Venmo or PayPal or something like that. Well, a lot of our senior citizens and older generation, they don't have those apps. So it was really inconvenient, and I missed out on business that way. So having the Square at easy access, it was really nice to learn that, oh, this is handy. So do with that what you will. And it also keeps track of your payments too. Yes. I think that's pretty much it for the tax track on what to keep track of. I know it's annoying, but what's more annoying is dealing with the IRS whenever you miss something, because they want their money, and Uncle Sam be greedy. But it's fine. It's fine. I'm an artist. Taxes are the least of my worries. Actually, no. Let me rephrase that. I'm an artist. I don't mind doing taxes because I get to be an artist. So take that, Uncle Sam. And apart from that, I wanted to just go over, I guess, just a moment of motivation. And I don't know if other people who need to see this will see it, because I'm titling this about artists and taxes. But when I'm recording this, right now it's February, mid-February, and I started this business ordeal at the beginning of January. Again, I've had experience in the past on how to be self-employed, but never just myself. I've always had like a team to keep me going and keep me accountable. And it's natural for humans to fall out of habit or fall out of line, because you have this whole lifestyle that you've been living for years and years, and you're trying to incorporate this new way of going. So whenever you start out, you're really motivated and you're really excited, and you wake up every day and you're on time and you are ready for what to do next. And by day 30, you've kind of taken a step back. It's become a little bit like normal or less exciting, and your old habits start to sneak in, and you lose track of time, or you go a little bit relaxed. And that's not the bad part. The bad part is whenever you miss a day and then you're hard on yourself about it. Everybody's going to miss a day, whether you're working for somebody or you're working for yourself. It's going to happen. It's okay for that to happen, because you shouldn't be hard on yourself. I'm a big believer on enjoying what you do and don't stress. If you miss something, okay, sorry. I mean, if you genuinely try it, that's okay. But if you're not trying, that's a whole other talk that you need to have with yourself. But if you're genuinely trying and you've been keeping track, and now that we're 30 days in and you start to slip up a little bit, it's going to happen. What you need to do is just let yourself feel that and then get back on track. Don't be mad at yourself for messing up, and don't feel worried that you're failing or that this isn't what's going to work for you because you slipped up for 3 days out of the 30 days that you've done great. All it means is that you went 20 years, 30 years, 40 years existing as one way, and now you're trying to incorporate a whole new way of living. Well, it's going to happen. You're going to slip up. So just let it happen and embrace it and be okay with it. what your body is probably saying is, I'm tired of this new way. You need to give me a break to catch up and be in this new way with you, and let your body take that break. It's okay. What's not okay is making yourself feel bad about it and then just giving up. Because then you're not going to get anywhere other than being exactly who you have been for all these years. Which, if you like that person, that's totally cool. But if you're trying to incorporate a new way of being, then let yourself have a break. It's going to be okay. Same thing if you're like working out, because I've been working out and I'm dying every day. And there are days, like today specifically, that I said, today's not the day, and that's okay. It doesn't mean I'm failing. That doesn't mean that I don't want to work out. It doesn't mean I don't want to be healthy. It just means that I'm giving my body a break, because I need to have that break. Otherwise, I will be overwhelmed and I will tumble, and then I'll really have a bad time. That's how you get burnt out. That's how you get overworked. We don't need that. We don't need the stress. Just listen to your body and take that time, because you're trying to incorporate a whole new way of existing that you've never existed before. So take that as you will and enjoy your life. Know that you're doing great. I think that's all I have to say. I'm glad you're doing this, and I hope this was motivating for you. The next episode probably have a little bit more artsy fartsy stuff, but this is why. Okay, so kind of going off of that, I missed uploading all of my videos last week, so I upload 2 videos a week, and first week of February I didn't upload anything, and that's because I did my taxes on Monday. And Monday is the day that I record my videos and I edit my videos and I have them scheduled to upload. And I can't do that if I'm in a town 30 minutes away and I'm trying to do all these things. It's just not going to happen. So instead of stressing about it, I thought, okay, well, that means on Tuesday I can just stay up late. Well, no, because what I do in the evenings is I'm on mom mode, and I do the cleaning and I cook and I'm with my husband and my son. And if I were to be recording, then I'd be stressed out and it's not going to come out great and I'm not going to like it and I'll be frustrated with my family, even though they're just existing, right? So take your break. Life is going to happen, and don't be hard on yourself. And I hope these taxes information helped you. Subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment. If you have any questions about taxes, I mean, you can leave a comment, but I'm probably in the same boat as you. I recommend getting a tax lady because they are lifesavers. That's it. Thanks, guys. Have a good week. Bye.